Hi everyone, the Lone Wolf here, and welcome to EVE Talk, your weekly look at the market in EVE Online. And yeah, let's take a trip to the couch and take a look at the market for this week. Now, unfortunately, there's some pretty sad news to report. I think is that CCP Soundwave is leaving CCP. He's heading for Riot, where he's going to work on League of Legends. So, while personally I'm sad to see him go, because he's actually one of the devs that you feel you know the most, because you got to see him a lot with the Alliance tournament, and he was pretty active on the forums and stuff like that as well. But yeah, of course, best of luck to him at Riot and working on League of Legends. A lot of people might be wondering, like, why the hell would he go from a game like EVE Online to League of Legends? But in my opinion, it's decently understandable. League of Legends is by some metrics the largest game in the world at the moment. I think it has the most concurrent players of any game out there, and so I think it makes a decent amount of sense to go work on that game personally. And there goes the actual live stream, so now I know that it's actually going all right. But yeah, we're here for the market. You know, CCP Soundwave is going. We'll have to wait and see if this has any impact on EVE and on development. Let's hope nothing bad, of course, and let's wish him the best. So yeah, best of luck out there, CCP Soundwave. But we're here for the market, and as you can see, I've changed it up a little bit. I've prepared a bit more with the suggestions from one of the viewers to work with separate folders for the different parts that I like to check, and that's indeed a good idea. You know, this could also help by adding new categories depending on what happens in the news over the week. Let's start off with minerals as always, and we'll go with the cheapest mineral, tritanium. This is obviously the most abundant but also the most used mineral in EVE Online, and as far as I can tell, that is still on its downward trend. Let's have a quick look here at current prices in Jita Station. What is the lowest we're finding? 480, 479. So, well, it broke 5 ISK, and that's actually not visible on the chart here. No, it is actually visible on the chart. Why the hell wasn't it on the 1 year chart? No, it is. Okay, so it's at 480. I think tritanium is still slowly edging down. If you see at all the sell orders that are a few jumps away, that are well below 480, which is what we're seeing at the moment in tritanium, it's still not at the bottom for that, unfortunately, so not the best of times to be mining for Veldspar. After that, most abundant is pyrite. Prices in station 1118, 1119, something like 11.20 ISK. Definitely still on the downtrend here. Pretty interesting actually, how it's really starting to come close to 11 ISK even. So 12 was, I think you can tell that it was sort of a support, because it tried right here at the early August. It definitely tried to defend the 12 ISK price points, at least the market did. But now it's broken and it's going down towards 11 ISK. So let's see if it can hold there. It's going to be interesting, but I'm a bit surprised personally to still see minerals going down like that. Next up, let's get back for market data, and let's have a look here at Mixalon, which is looking at 37.29, 37.30, something like that. It's been at 60 ISK. I still cannot believe that a year ago I was selling Mixalon for 60, 64 ISK, and now it's only 37. So on the chart here, let's have a quick look first at the 1 year chart maybe, so I can show you that. There you go, 60 ISK right there, and now 37. That's a serious crash over the year so far. But if you look at the 3-month chart, the 36 ISK does seem to be a stronger support than the others, because it's bounced right back up there, and now it's still staying in the 36-38 band. So let's hope that this is actually a bottom for Mixalon. You never know. Of course, you know, this might trend right back down. It's very difficult to say at the moment, especially considering what the rest of the minerals have been doing. But it might just be a bottom. You know, we might not break 36 ISK on Mixalon, and that would mean that from now on it might either continue in this price band or start to go up if you want an indication of that, always keep an eye on news for the winter expansion. That might just provide you with some clues. After that, Isogen, slow, very slow downtrend still going on here, judging by the chart. Current price in station 123, something like that, 122, 94, 95. Maybe a quick look at the 1 year chart. You can definitely see that it's been going down since the Odyssey expansion here for Isogen, and that it's still slowly trending down at the moment, just like titanium and pyrite. After that we have Noxium, which can also still be mined in HiSec. And here again you can clearly see this top at Odyssey, and then the downtrend that is still going on pretty significantly. Actually, Noxium is going down quite substantially, top at well over 1000 ISK, and current price is 714, 715 ISK, something close to that. So yeah, still not a good time for miners, I think. I don't really like the look of these charts. After that we have, I think the more common one would be no, it's just Zydrine and Megasite left, so terrible chart here for Zydrine. Maybe a bit better on 3-month chart. Nope, nothing too visible. Current price is 640, 641, close to that. And yeah, this is a terrible chart. I don't really know what's going on with that, but if the other ones were any indication, Zydrine has been going down for a bit as well, and it's really at the tail end, I think. If I take a 1-month chart, yeah, I don't know what's wrong with this one, but it's not looking too good. Next up, Megasite, and here again, this is like something that you either get from signatures or in wormhole space or nullsec. If you want to get some Megasite, maybe in some sites in lowsec as well, but it's definitely not a very common mineral. But you can see a similar chart here, trending up towards Odyssey, and then now taking a serious beating. In fact, a high of, well, let's say 2500 ISK, and current prices broke 1800, so we're currently looking at 1783 for Megasite. Not a good time to be a miner, honestly. Prices are still going down, except for a single mineral, which is Mexalon right here. That one might just be working on a bottom. But this is not the time to be selling your minerals or needing the money from your mining. My personal opinion on this, if you are a miner in Evoline, stock up at the moment, keep as much of the stuff that you mine as possible, and look for a better selling opportunity. Now, after minerals, this usually has a pretty strong correlation with Tech One chips. So let's have a quick look at what that one is looking like. I actually have 5 Tech One chips that I'm keeping an eye on normally, although I usually start out with the Drake, which is not a great example because it's been nerfed substantially and it's basically lost its role of one of the go-to ships for 0-0 alliances. But you can definitely, I think, see the downtrend. Ooh, oh my god, look at that tail end there. That's really terrible. Look at that, dropping from 45, it was trying to hold on there, and now we have data points below 40 million. So prices in Jita Station is going to be really important. 41,900, something like that. Definitely down. I mean, this took quite a beating over the last few weeks. That's not so good for Drake manufacturers. Like I said, it's not the best of examples for Tech One chips because it's lost a lot of its roles due to nerfs over the past year. But I think you can see the correlation with minerals right there. Still a peak at Odyssey and then a clear downward trend here. Next up, I'll take a look at the Maelstrom, which is a battleship. And I think is still considered one of the common battleships, battleship of the line. That hasn't changed too much due to nerfs or stuff like that. Its usage and demand for it should not have wavered too much. And that one, as you can see, tried to hold on quite well above 200 million until Odyssey hit, and then together with the minerals, it's dropped down quite substantially. Current prices 170 for a single sell order, and then around 176 million for a Maelstrom. And let's have a quick look at the tail end though. Here, well, it's really trying to defend once again that bottom of 175 million, but it looks to me like it's going to fail. although price yeah, but if people keep coming with sell orders that jump to 170 to be sure of their sale, prices might just be going down further. So this is definitely the correlation between minerals and Tech 1 chips that you're seeing here. And if minerals continue to go down, this price point is going to get broken and maelstroms might go down even further. Another battleship is the Rock, and again you can see how the trend of minerals is being followed by Tech 1 chips. In fact, 180 has been broken by Rocks, 176 here as well, and that's actually pretty low if you look on a 1 year chart. It's been over 220 million for the largest part, and then here that's the big crash of Odyssey for minerals and Tech 1 stuff. The Omen, that's a personal interest because I have a PPC for that, a PPO, I'm sorry, for that. And here again you can see it went up with the winter expansion, definitely held on pretty well at around 10 million ISK until Odyssey hit, and now it's back down below 9. In fact, it's already at 8.7 million for an Omen in Cheetah Station. And another one is a Talos. I'm working on this BPO, damn it, what's with BPCs today. Current prices, yeah, 62 million. I've managed to sell a lot of Taloses early on for around 80 million. You know, as you can clearly see, for a long time prices have held on above 80 million, and then I was making some pretty good money producing Taloses. But now with Odyssey, definitely a serious decline here as well, and it's quite hard to make profits in the current Tech 1 market and the current mining market. So personally, I wouldn't be looking to sell, but to stock up and wait for a better opportunity. Although keep in mind that this is of course my opinion, but I think the correlation between minerals and Tech 1 chips is clearly demonstrated here, as all of them follow that same pattern after Odyssey. Yeah, that's it, Tech 1's and mineral market. If any of you guys have suggestions or stuff you need me to check out, feel free to post that in the comments. But if you don't, obviously we'll keep going with the information. After Tech 1 we've got Tech 2, and this takes quite a bit more to produce. In fact, I've never made a Tech 2 item myself. It takes research, it takes base Tech 1 goods and then other stuff in order to produce that. Yeah, I've just never really found time to go into that. But personally, I look at the Tech 2 market for trading opportunities, and at the moment what I think is pretty hot are the command ships, so I've put them right here in the Tech 2 ships/trade folder. Before that, I used to take a look at logistics cruisers, Tech 2 logistics cruisers. Unfortunately, I think you can see it on this chart still, on a 1 year chart here. Around December, when the last winter expansion was released, the Tech 1 variants of logistics got a huge buff. They actually became usable in ship doctrines, which means that these Tech 2 logistics cruisers no longer were a real niche on their own, and that definitely cooled down the trading in them quite substantially. So I think you can see here before December you had these really big spikes and up and down movements, variations of 120 up to 160, so 30-40 million ISK in a few weeks, easy. That was perfect for trading. But after the winter expansion here, it's definitely become so much more stable that I no longer look at the logistics cruisers for trading opportunity. Next, what I do then is the command ships, which not only have known significant changes with Odyssey 1.1, so just recently. So of course we have to wait a little bit on the impact, but command ships are reasonably a niche on their own. So if you want to use them in a fleet, you need to buy one of these. It's not like you can just take a Tech 1 ship and have that do pretty much the exact same thing, but on a lesser scale. So you really need command ships for their unique job. You can use some Tech 3s as well, but I think command ships have taken the upper hand again with Odyssey 1.1. Unfortunately for the Absolution, except for the big spike here, that's not looking too hot, although there are some decent 20 million jumps to be seen here, but not enough ups and downs to really make it trade worthy. After that is going to go alphabetically. Astarte, that's looking a lot nicer. You can clearly see a top here, here, and now again with Odyssey and a huge spike with Odyssey 1.1. Current prices for the Astarte, not a lot for sale, 283, 284 is what we're currently looking at. And look at the chart over the year, you know, you could easily have picked up some at 200 million or 210 on some of the downtrends, you know, when it's definitely a buying opportunity. And even here, you know, you could have picked some up at 210 and put them up on the market now for 270 for a cool 260 million ISK profit. So this is a great chart for trading. Next up, let's see the Claymore, a little too stable, although you have to keep in mind that here we are seeing 180 to 220 is just these two bands. So here you get a decent spike, a decent bottom and opportunity here, a decent spike here again, and now the Odyssey 1.1 spike, which is pretty decent. Current price for Claymore 246 though, so that's already working its way down. So you really have to keep a close eye on that. Langers and hi by the way. Yeah, I'll take a look at the new industrials as well. After this we've got the Damnation again. The MR ones for some reason seem to be stable, although this one not too bad here. 20 million jump, 40 million jump, couple more small 10-20 million jumps here, definitely 20, 30, 40 maybe even. Here the Odyssey jump, but the Odyssey 1.1 changes didn't really have a big effect on the Damnation. EOS though, again Galente one, look at that huge spike after Odyssey 1.1 because it can use 5 heavy drones from now on. But again a pretty decent chart here, 20 million down, bottom at 200, again here 220 selling opportunity, 240 selling opportunity, and then back down to 20 selling opportunity again, 260 selling opportunity, and then right back down to 220. So these are great charts for active trading. If you can actually keep an eye on it, and with a horizon of a few weeks to a few months. Nighthawk, that's a little bit more stable again, but as you can see, the second part of the chart is looking pretty good here. Cool 20 jump here, 20 again, and then working its way back up. A bottom here at 180 again, despite the announced changes, and then right back up. There's definitely been trading opportunities in the Nighthawk, although overall it's a little bit down for the year. So Odyssey 1.1 not too great for that either. The Sleipnir here finally, no, we also have the Vulture to go. Down for the year and a bit more stable, so probably not the one I'd be looking for active trading. You can clearly see there are some spikes, but they're quite a few months apart, so I wouldn't be looking too much. I'd keep one eye on the Sleipnir, but I wouldn't be active in that market. And then the Vulture, well, maybe a couple of selling opportunities that I can see here, nothing too special, but definitely Odyssey 1.1 changes have been liked a lot by the trading folk, because this is probably the announcement peak, and then it held on for quite a while, and now it's back down. So people that have actively traded the Vulture on the rumors of the changes did a great job there if they managed to unload here. Current prices 256, which is definitely still up for the year, so Vulture definitely a winner as well with the rebalancing. So good suggestion by Langers, although I don't think I want to check this every single week. Together in 1.1 with the Hex and the command ships, the industrial ships also got, the standard ones got some rebalancing done to them, and some of them got specialized base, other got a bit more speed, less cargo, the others more cargo but less tank and speed, stuff like that. So you know what I'll look for is big spikes, some of the winners in these industrial ships. So this is the Bestower on the 1 year chart, pretty flat. On the 3 month chart, yeah, there is definitely a spike to be seen here, but overall it came back pretty quickly. So to me this looks pretty stable, not too much change for the Bestower. Let's have a look here at the Sigil. That one's going up, you can clearly see that at the tail end. So let's take the 3 month chart here. So people are enjoying the Sigil for some reason. Look at that, not bad at all. In fact, looks like it's going to be a sustained increase up to like 0.9 million for the Sigil. Current price is over 1 million. Yeah, not bad. Let's have a quick look at the description. Maybe I can find It's got 5% bonus cargo capacity, bonus to agility, and no specialized bay as far as I can see. So yeah, I couldn't tell you the exact changes on the sigil, but it's definitely one of the winners. If I look at this 3-month chart right here, definitely going up after the announced changes, and then now with the Odyssey patch, it seems to be able to sustain it. Caldari, the Badger, nah, pretty flat, so not too much change in popularity for the Badger, still holding at around 0.5 million. Yeah, just 515 thousand ISK for a Badger. We're talking Tech 1 industrial stuff that people can fly very early. And then the Tyra, maybe up a little. I mean, it's trying, but it's really not outside of the scope of normal variation for the Tyra. And I think that one is focusing entirely on reaching the highest potential capacity that Caldari engineers can manage. So yeah, I think the batteries maybe down a little bit over the summer, and then the Tyra, maybe here it's working its way up because its capacity might have been upped a little bit, but still nothing special in my opinion. The Galente, for some reason they have a lot of them. The Epital, that looks like it might just be a more sustained increase because it's quite a bit sharper, although still decently within range of what you want. This one has a specialized bay for, let's see, planetary commodities. So I can definitely understand this, and this might indeed mean a new normal price point for the Epital, which has become specialized in hauling PI goods. You know, some people, they might enjoy that. And Tricky lets me know that the Wraith should be interesting. The best Tech 1 indie for small scale safe hauling. Let's see what the market shows. I think, is that the Minmatar? Yeah, that's Minmatar. So we got a few more to go. Itron Mark V, I'd say this one is trending down, and with good reason. It's no longer the king of huge cargo hauls. Everyone went for the Itron Mark V before if they didn't want to go for a freighter, and so that's down because other industrials have managed to definitely compete with the Itron Mark V for the same amount of skill you put into it. The Cryos, that one is up a little. Does it have a specialized bay? Looks like it. Ferrying minerals. So for early miners, this could definitely be an interesting ship, and I would say it's trying on to work its way up there. But is it going to be sustained? You know, right here it's already dropping back down. Maybe a 1-year chart could be a better. Yeah, actually, yes, it is definitely trying to go up, and if it can sustain its current prices of 1.1 million for a Cryos, that's definitely an increase after Odyssey 1.1. Miasmos, that's a bad chart here, 3-month charts. Trying to work its way up here again. What does this one have? Interesting. Ore, ice and gases. So I can definitely understand that again. In fact, prices 2.2 million for a Miasmos, not bad. Yeah, this is again because of the specialized bay for ice and ores. That's actually decently interesting as well. You know, if you get people in your corporation that don't have perfect refining stuff, but they do want to mine in other systems from time to time, the Miasmos could be a good chip for them. So understandable, and also I'd say one of the winners together with the Cryos. The Epital, I wouldn't say that it's really a winner because it's still in the band of what it was before there. The Itron Mark V, one of the losers, I would say. Nereus still looks pretty flat to me. Nothing's originally set sail as the Itron. This new iteration about civilian military despite speed and resilience. So this one is based a little bit more on speed and resilience and agility. So it's a good transporter if you have some unsafe stuff to do, but I don't really think this is going to jump in price or be a winner of the 1.1 patch, because that looks pretty flattened down even from early July. So yeah, no, I don't think the Nereus is one to look out for either. Hoarder, yeah, you'll have to wait for the very end because the rate is right here at the bottom. Hoarder, again, one of the losers, I would say, you know, definitely dropped here. and a downward trend after Odyssey 1.1. And wasn't that one of the a decent one? Extra cargo bay, this bay is static free, blast proof, and is ferrying consumable charges of all kinds, including ammunitions, missile, capacitor charges, nana paste, and bombs. So I guess people don't really think that's really that popular or needed at the moment. It's an interesting one, an interesting test, I would say, for diversification. You know, give it a whole an extra ore hold for anything that charges. But apparently it's not really something the market was waiting for too much. The mammoth, pretty flat, so I don't really think that there's a noticeable reaction from the market. And then there we go, Tricky's the Wraith. Yeah, maybe up a little bit. You know, you can definitely see the spike here with the announced changes, and it's trying to work its way on an up. What's the Wraith description looking like? The design of the Wraith is very plain, which is the main reason for its longevity, but also makes ships incapable of handling anything but the most mundane tasks. 5% cargo capacity, 5% agility, so it's definitely got some agility. And so Tricky would choose this ship, the Wraith right here, for small scale safe handling, probably because it's a little bit faster and a little bit more agile than most of the others. Its price point is actually pretty cheap too, I would say. 740,000. Maybe the 1 year chart can give us a better indication. Well, I would say not really an outstanding winner here, because it's still in the normal price band of the Wraith. So if you're really looking for some of the winners, I would say possibly the Cryos. You know, that one's definitely up to where its normal price band was. Miasmo's hard to tell here. Nereus as well. Was the Sigil okay? The Sigil is working on that as well. So it's really, to me, the most noticeable one is actually the Cryos here, which was for ferrying minerals. A bit surprising. Maybe some miners have some problems with that and don't want to go for the really big freighters just yet, and that this is of use to them. Yeah, there you go. That was a look at the industrial ships, which have changed. But I would say there's not that many clear winners in this. So obviously there were a lot of them before, and a lot of people can already fly most of them, I think. And so yeah, the impact of it seems to be decently benign, in my opinion. Just there's a couple of them, you know, the Cryos, a double peak here. The Miasmos, what was that one looking like on the 3-month chart? He's trying. If he got renamed, it would win. Another suggestion could be the RC materials after the Fountain War might be interesting. Yeah, I checked that previously. If you could post a couple, because I actually don't have them linked to my quick bar, and I'm terrible with names. So if you want me to check R64 minerals, Langers, just post a couple of them there. I checked them after the war, no, just around the war with the changes, I think, and they definitely took off quite substantially. Although I do think this is something that an active trader is very hard to be in that market unless you're part of it. Can't decide what's aligned faster, my Cinnaball or the Wraith. Yeah, that's actually not bad, you know. If it's indeed a great fast aligning, and you can feel the good tank on the Wraith there. For 700,000 ISK, I mean, this is something that's not going to cost even a new player an arm and a leg, and if it's fast enough to avoid suicide ganks, why the hell not, you know? Maybe for like an explorer that's got a lot of faction stuff to do, the Wraith could be interesting. Yeah, and if you want me to check the R64 stuff, feel free to post some of them in the comments, then I'll try and take a look at them. To give you some time on that, I'll check the Tech Tree market then, because since we are in a wormhole at the moment. This is the melted nano ribbons. It's finally breaking 5 million. And look at these charts. I'd say it's close to a buying opportunity at the moment. Bottom might end up a little bit lower. But this is pretty good. Current prices in GTA Station still 5.1. Buy orders 5.8 though. So you might just be able to buy some melted nano ribbons below 5 million, which I think is a good investment for the winter expansion, where generally prices go up. A quick look at the ships, but that's probably not doing too good. The Legion going back up a little bit here at the tail end. That's a little bit surprising, actually, trying to work its way toward 175. In fact, 180.5 million. That's ahead of the chart by quite a lot. So for some reason, the Legion has bounced back up a little bit. The Loki, that one's still working its way down below 170. Yeah, 167. Proteus 176 charts. Trying to work its way back up, but it's not succeeding in my opinion. And then the Tengu, yeah, that's still still working its way toward 170, and it's right at 170 for current prices in Jita Station. So I'm a bit surprised for the Legion here. 178, 180, 180 for some reason. That one's working its way up a little bit. Not sure why. There you go. Promethium, Neodymium, and Dysporium, Thallium, or R64s. Okay, I'll check those in a minute. But yeah, tech trade market, you know, melted nanoribbons. These look pretty low to me. Might be a buying opportunity. And then the Legion, that one did a strange jump here to me. I mean, it's even 5 million higher than what's on the chart. Maybe even a little bit more 20-day moving average. I couldn't tell you why this is. Someone must have bought a lot of Legions for some reason. Probably a 0-0 alliance. Yeah, if you bought some, you know, if you bought some right here at bottom prices, 170, below that on some buy orders, right now you're looking at a 10 million profit. So this stuff does still happen. But overall, you know, the 1 year charts for the tech tree ships are not great. Starting at 210, ending at 180. Starting at 210, ending below 170. Loki, ouch. Proteus starting well above 200, and current prices 180, so that's bad again. And then the Tengu, I think that's the most depressing chart of all the tech trees. Look at that. It tried again with Odyssey, but now it's right back down at an all-time low for the year. So that's it for the tech tree. So a couple more suggestions. R64 stuff. Promethium. Let's see if I can find that search, and that is in Promethium. Here you go. Obvious chart. With Odyssey, what happened was in nullsec, the really dangerous space, alliances can have a fully passive income basically by mining moons out there. And during Evoline Odyssey, they switched from the technetium moons. That just became, I think it just became easier to manufacture that stuff. So that dropped in price dramatically, and instead the R64 moons became the moons to have in order to make big bucks on a passive alliance income level. And this is what that chart looks like. For instance, Promethium starting at 5000k for the half the year, and then right here with Odyssey up to 25,000. So that is 5-fold what it was before the expansion, and this is also the reason why the CFC, the Goons, had this huge war against Test Alliance with the largest fight in EVE ever, 4,000 people in a single system. It was over these moons, really, over this passive alliance income. Current prices for Promethium 22,500 ISK, something like that, where it was 5,000 ISK for a whole time before that. So that's definitely an awesome example. And in fact, I'm going to add this stuff to the quick bar. Neodymium then. Neodymium, let's do a search for that. It's probably with an M or something. Search. Yeah, there you go. It's Neodymium. Ooh, that's a little bit surprising. Look at that, starting out below 30k. Huge spike with Odyssey, but that one actually came back down. That's interesting. Also added to the quick bar. So this is also an R64 material, but for some reason there is a process called alchemy where you can actually combine other materials to create stuff, and I'm assuming that neodymium is one of them, because it's right back down where it started before. In fact, this is February. This is a bit too early, and this dropped back down here again with Odyssey. That's interesting. This feels to me like a speculative trade bubble, because it's still where it started off. Probably announcing moon changes, and some people said, well, neodymium is going to be in part of the winners. People traded that, but it turns out that it isn't. Really interesting one. Really interesting one. Basically, on the 1 year, neodymium is flat, and this is a huge speculation bubble for about double the price. In fact, is what they managed to do with that. So some people made a lot of money here, and some people lost a lot of money here as well by buying at this price of 50-60k. Really interesting, this one. Dysporium or dysprosium, these names, of course, and that's another clear winner right here. Added to the quick bar as well, of course. Starts at 10k, current price is 30k. In fact, really still working on highs for the year here, trading really high, 3 times the price. Current price 31.5. Yeah, definitely another one of the winners. And then finally, thulium. Being a Care Bear, of course, I don't really know all of this too well. Added to quick bar, and here, yeah, you can see thulium might just be the biggest winner of them all, starting at 2k. Odyssey launches, or the changes are announced at least, you know, because Odyssey actually launched a little bit later here. So this is all actually speculation before Odyssey when the changes are announced. And 18,000, it's still at its highest point, 18.4 thousand, 9-fold what it was before the expansion and these announced changes. That is incredible. People have made bank on this, and I think you can understand the reason why CFC had to have them and decided to start one of the biggest wars in EVE Online. This is just a really huge passive income. This is crazy. Yeah, I mean, thulium, if you suspected a change like that and you had stocks of thulium, you increased your ownings by 9-fold. That's stuff of legends, really. Trades of legends have been made with this, I'm pretty sure. So that's really awesome. Great suggestion as well. In fact, I've added them to the quick bar, and so I'm making a new folder called R64, and I'm going to add them and touch on them maybe from time to time. But I think the general trend here is pretty obvious. Once these changes were announced, prices shot up at an incredible rate. Fortunes were made and lost on these trades, and this is why it's so important, if you're trading, to always keep an eye on upcoming information, because you never know, you know, the winter expansion might just announce some stuff that has a similar impact, and those are opportunities that, if you have the balls for it, you can make huge amounts of money. So we had that. I'll quickly touch on the Marauders here, although this chart is terrible again. Golem definitely an uptrend. In fact, 500 million tick is what you're seeing here on the 20-day moving chart, or no, is it 50 million? From 950 to 1, yeah, it's a 50 million. I was exaggerating a little bit there. It's not a 50% increase, but current price for the golem, yeah, settled back at 1 billion. So here, nice little speculative bubble, you know. Traders, they jump on all of this information. They manage to beat the price of the golems up to 1.15 billion. Now it's back down to 1 billion. So people that bought them here, they've lost a lot of money, and people that managed to sell them have just made a few hundred million, like 100 million on every golem, even 150. So this is that in action at the moment, you know. The Marauders are going to get rebalanced this winter, and you can clearly see once this announcement is there, the traders are right there in the market. Although we're talking about ships that cost close to 1 billion ISK, the Kronos definitely up as well, and trying to have a sustained uptrend here as well. Paladin uptick as well, and Vargur as well. I'm a bit surprised by this, because you know, all of that is seriously subject to change, and we actually don't even know if it's going to be viable, because no one has been able to fly it on the test server or anything like that. But all of them, they definitely did a trade jump of close to 100 million. That's like 10% on this announcement, and they seem to be able to sustain that, except for the golem right here, which has gone back down with 100 million again. So this is the active trading people that are keeping an eye on all of that news and that are trying to make some money out of it. Pretty interesting stuff, especially here on the golem. That's really a nice example of what trading can do, and how if you manage to sell those golems at 1.15, yeah, you just got a couple 100 million made out of nothing, basically. Well, not out of nothing, but from those that managed to buy them, then that chose to buy them. Really interesting stuff with the Marauders. You're seeing the rumor trades in action right here. And finally, the fuels. Maybe I'll have a quick look at that. Amar fuel blocks jumping up for some reason. Kaldari fuel blocks trending down, so it's not a general thing. Galente fuel blocks trying to go up. Did it break 15,000? It broke 15,000. That's actually not bad news. Then Minmatar fuel blocks pretty stable. So might the goons be trying to manipulate this a little bit? Goon Swarm CFC are known for trying to blockade ice production to get fuel block prices up, and not just the fuel blocks, of course, but the isotopes which are gotten from the ice mining and are needed for these fuel blocks. This is something they actively do. A huge alliance trying to make money that way, and to me this looks like it just might be an Amar fuel blockade that's not really announced because I haven't read anything about it, but yeah, prices went from like 14.5k current, no, 14.8k. So is this like a trade that is someone trying to manipulate the market on trading then? Because prices have settled right back down again. So this is strange. Totally missed this as well, but some weird action going on in the Amar fuel block section. Maybe someone thinking it might happen and trying to cash in on that early, or someone knows something. Keep that in mind as well. But yeah, pretty interesting, and definitely against the trend here, this Amar fuel block stuff. The rest is either going up a little bit or trending flat. And then finally, of course, Plex, probably something a lot of you people have been waiting for. Plex. Plex is equal to 30 days game time, so if it's a subscription game, but if you can buy Plex from other people, you can actually play for free. And what everyone is looking for at the 1 year chart is this big rise towards the winter expansion. When is it going to start? As you can see, 1 year ago it started. Any week now we should be seeing increased prices. Current price, in fact, yeah, there you go. We have one seller that is cashing out at 548,500, but the next one is 558, where last week it was like 555, something like that. So another 3 million jump, in fact closer to 559. And yep, here on the 3-month chart you can see the 5-day moving average staying well above the 20-day moving average. So I think the market is really getting ready for the rise in Plex prices with the winter expansion. Let's hope it happens, of course, because I bought some. And yeah, market data here, let's have a quick look. In fact, yeah, this is another telltale sign. 548 buy orders, 558 sell orders. That margin has increased. So that, I think that means that people are not really willing to sell the Plex at 555 anymore. They're really saying, no, I want close to 560. Once that is broken, look out for the upwards movement, I think. And the buy orders are slow. They're trying to slow this down, of course, people that want to buy the Plex, but they're not really succeeding, and so the margin is increasing here, 14 million. A normal margin for Plex is 12.5, 13 million. Yeah, increased margin, 5-day moving average up, prices are starting to slowly trend up. And yeah, just look at this historical chart, 1 year chart. Look at that big uptick here. We're talking 100 million ISK. That's going to be really interesting. The Plex are also a barometer for general activity in EVE Online, which during the summer is always at a low. Once people start to come back after summer vacation, classes starting again, just the weather becoming less enjoyable, people start to definitely come back to EVE Online. Demand for Plexes increases, and so does the price. And yeah, I'm just waiting for that to happen now, because I have 8 Plex to sell for 600 million ISK, I think, or whatever the top ends up being. I'm gonna keep a close eye on that. But yeah, we're poised for that increase, I think, over the next weeks and months. Keep a close eye on Plex, I think, for some great opportunities and some great upward movements. Anyways, that's going to be it, guys. This Eve talk. Thank you very much for the suggestions. They were really awesome. In fact, I think if we can just summarize that for 1 second, the industrials are not so much moving because of the rebalancing. Just 1 or 2 Galente winners in there, but nothing too special. And the R64 ones, I think you can clearly see what a huge deal it can be to be right on top of the information as it gets released. A 9-fold increase in price. I think anyone would have loved to be in the know on that trade. But yeah, that's it for this Eve talk, guys. Hope you like it. Hope you guys can make some ISK out of all of this as well, of course. I'm trying, and I'll see you all next time.